Get your money, don't care who judge. Stay out the way, surround yourself with nothing but love. Stay out the way, if you a gangster, killer or thug. Stay out the way, put your faith in the man above. Stay out the way, chill with your family, siblings and blood. Stay out the way, kick it with your girl, forget hit in the club. Stay out the way, mind on your money, ain't no switching it up. Stay out the way, stand out the way, what you thought that it was. Stay out the way. If you stuck down on your luck, not feeling righteous, did a petty crime, just looking for some excitement. Now your name on affidavits and court indictments, get paid for a lot, but your freedom is priceless. You did the crime, you do the time, don't let it surprise you. Real stories from the heart, just to open your eyes up.
Part 2 gang, y'all, let's get it, y'all. Part 2 gang, y'all, let's get it. Like, share, subscribe, let's get it. Let's get it. Let's go. Man, that joke was crazy. My roommate come back in there and say, man, he shake, rattling, and rolling, Whistle. I'm like, he shake, rattling. I said, how you know? He said, man, cuz, man, that man ain't look like he was mad that man got to stay in his cell. He said his door was open. He was just sitting on the bed. I said, yo, that's him. I said, that's Chuck, man. I ain't got nothing to do with that, Chuck. I'll let you know now. I ain't got nothing to do with that, bro. He was like, man, that's crazy. He was like, man, my daddy, bro, was a young dude. He was like, man, my daddy used to always tell me about how dudes, he ain't been nowhere except Lawrenceville. So he ain't never really seen nothing. You know what I mean? He ain't seen nothing that was going on. He was like, my daddy used to tell me, yo, how dudes be falling for these dudes in here, man. He was like, what? I'm going to the hole, Whistle. Or if I get out the hole and gotta go in the cell one, I'm going to the hole. I said, bro, listen, if you don't shake, rattle, and roll, those are the things to do, man. I said, if you looking and don't shake, rattle, and roll pamphlet, it says don't go in the room with none of them, man. Like, that's number 1 on the list. I said, Chuck know that. Chuck done been bitten. Chuck done been down. I said, man, Chuck ain't green to this, man. I said, he know what time it is. I said, but it's his life, though. I said, he must be want to do that. I said, that's what he want to do. That's what he want to do. I ain't got nothing to do with that. You know what I mean? Like, he can do that, man. So, like, the pod, like, it was just crazy. Like, you know, like, a lot of other people really didn't care. But Chuck was hanging with us. Chuck used to be with me and my roommate, he used to be around. Like Chuck from the town. I'm like, yo, this is crazy. But apparently Chuck writing his own rule book, man. So I can't say nothing about it, man. I'm just letting it be. But I just couldn't wait for count to clear. So count clear. As soon as count clear on Lawrenceville, they popping the doors. The doors popping. Everybody come out. Everybody moving around. You know what I mean? I get out, put my shoes on, tie my shoes up, step out in the pod. I walk out there. I look. I'm like, looking around. Yeah. Look, slide open up. See the unit manager come in. He come in. He stand by the brick wall. He like, I'm like, why he coming out, Pa? He looking around. He like, this is my word. I looked up. I seen the tall boy. He was coming down the steps like this. He was like this. I was like, what the? That joint, I ain't never seen that stair run tactic. He was like, I was like, is he skipping? He came down the steps. He was like, you gonna give me a job or what? Can I get a job? You say I come to this building, you give me a job. I'm in the building. I'm like, my roommate like, yo, this is crazy. I'm like, yo, what Chuck at, man? Look, seeing Chuck come down the joint. He had looked like he was shake, rattle, and roll. He tried to play it off, my word. He come to the little island of the trash can, where I say where the trash cans be at by the steps. He come to the little island of the joint, like he playing it off. He got his whole sweatsuit on. He come to the joint, he like, he's scratching. I'm like, he start, he doing this and stuff. I'm like, I'm looking up at him. I'm like, my roommate was like, he was shaking, rattling, and rolling. I'm like, man, yeah. I'm like, he trying to. I said, Chuck, what up, Chuck? He said, oh, what's good? What's good? I said, man, what's going on? You all right? He was like, yeah. So you going outside rec? Cause this is about to be 2 o'clock rec. So you going outside rec? He was like, I don't know. I might. I said, all right, I was just checking, man. Everything good though? He was like, yeah, everything good. Everything good. My roommate was like, yeah, I bet everything good. The boy's still right there talking to the unit manager. I'm like, man, it's crazy. Chuck never came down the steps to face us. He never came down the steps to look us in our eyeballs, man. Like, what do you, I mean, come on, man. Like, for real, when a dude decide to do that, y'all, I promise you, I have no problem with it. But I can't bid off this stuff. Like, I'm sorry. Like, I got a bid. I'm bidding off this stuff. People that don't know what bidding is, man, like, I'm having fun with this stuff, man. Like, it's crazy. Like, this is my guy. And like, I don't have no proof that he's shake, rattle, and rolling, except my shake, rattle, and rolling detector went off on him. But at the end of the day, man, he's just in the cell with this tall guy. So So he finally come down the steps. He like. So I look, the unit manager leaving out, the boy standing like by the little joint where you hit the button at. So he hitting the joint. So I see him like he's saying something to the lady in the booth. I look, I see Chuck come down the steps. Chuck was like, hey, bruh. Hey, bruh. Give me a request form. He was like, all right. His voice was super deep. I'm like, bruh. I'm like, hell, like, bruh. Like, this junk crazy. I'm like, crazy. I'm like, this is nuts, man. I'm like, bruh. This man named bruh. I'm like, man, get out of here, man. So I see Chuck standing over there. So my roommate like, yeah. My roommate, he a funny little young boy. He like, dang, Chuck. What you cut us off, man? You used to always come over here. What's up? And what we do? Chuck was like, man, go ahead, man. So he come over there. We still standing by, like the steps is by my cell too. So we all like right there. I'm not sitting on the steps. I'm leaning like kind of on the jump. My roommate's sitting right there though. My other homeboy sitting on that side of the steps. I kind of got my foot on the joint, but I'm kind of like just, you know what I mean? I'm leaning on the step jump. So he all right there. He walk over. He like, man, go ahead with that, man. I'm like, yo, that junk crazy, man. He like, yeah, man, like, y'all ain't see the joint locked down time. Y'all ain't watch. I forgot what he was saying, asking us, did we watch? He was like, yeah, they was doing this. The whole time he was like, yeah, his mouth was just moving the whole time. It was like this. All the above is gay. I'm like, that's crazy, man. Like, but I wish I can tell these people this stuff, but I can't. I'm like, this is wild. So he just going on and on and on and on. I'm like, yo, Chuck. I said, yo, dude named bruh. He was like, yeah, he from such and such. He was from the 804. I ain't gonna lie. He was like, yeah, his name, bruh. I was like, bruh. I said, man, bruh sound crazy, man. He was like, I mean, we got Bree out our way. We got people that we know named Bree. I was like, yeah, but Bree ain't the same as bruh. I was like, yo, so we over there tripping off the joint. I promise y'all, man, we over there tripping off my selling week. We over there rolling off the joints. He like, yeah, man. I'm like, hey. I was like, so you decided to let him stay? He was like, yeah, he can stay. He cool though. He ain't gonna disrespect me or nothing like that. He ain't on it like, y'all see what he did the whole time. I was not trying to let him come in the cell. He was just standing by the joint. He never came in my cell. He never just put his stuff in there and deboed. He never did none of that. So yeah, like, you know, like, as long as he respect me, man, like, he got the cut up. He stay on his side. I stay on my side. So I'm like, man, you better than me, man. Like, you know, like I can't do nothing about that, man. Like, you know, like, I'm letting you know now, like, no disrespect to that community. Like, but he can't come in the cell with me. Just like I went and go in the cell with him. So it's just, you know, that's just my preference. He was like, I mean, I feel you, Weezy, but I ain't really trying to go sit back there in that hole, Weezy, man. You know, I like to eat, bro. Like, you know how I like to make meals, man. You trying to make a meal? I was like, nah, bro, I'm gonna eat a butt naked tonight, pause. I was like, yeah, I'm gonna eat a soup game tonight. With the straight face game, I'm like, no, I'm gonna eat a soup game tonight. He was like, yeah, because look, we gonna make a meal. I was like, we? He was like, yeah, me and my celly. Yeah, he was like, yeah, you know how to cook too, bro. He was like, yeah, bro, he trying to write a cooking book. I was like, what? He was the first dude that I heard say that his celly was trying to write like a prison cooking book. Now, I have heard this from other inmates, like since I've been home, and they said they want to do this, but I heard this from him. He was like, yeah, the boys say he want to write a prison cooking book. I'm like, a prison cooking book? Like, what are you gonna have in the book? Shake, rattle, and roll soup, so boom. What do you mean a prison cookbook, man? This is what I'm saying in my head, though. I ain't gonna lie. I'm like, yo, man, nah, I'm good, bro. Nah, I'm like, I'm just gonna eat a soup and chip tonight. I'm good, bro. He was like, all right. So he dipped. Like I done been through this before on Susses. So when we lock down again, I tell my celly, I'm like, yo, look, I done seen stuff like this. He like, man, you ain't seen nothing like that. He straight was not trying to let him in his room. Now he happy here in the room. You think he messing around? I said, I know he messing around. I said, cause ain't no dude that's straight gonna let a dude come in there like that. Like, I'm just letting you know. Like, this prison, but you make your own decisions in penitentiary, man. That's just all it is. He like, man, that junk crazy. This is my daddy used to be telling. He was like, man, that's crazy, man. He was like, I can't believe Chuck went out like that. I was like, man, you gonna see. As time go on, more stuff gonna come out. That's just how I go, bro. I was like, I'm just beating off this stuff, bro. This shit funny. I was like, this stuff funny, bro. He was like, man, it is. So me and him just kicking about the joint, laughing. You know what I mean? It was a crazy situation. So we come back out. We got night rec. This is around like, I think this is like early, like late spring, almost summer, something like that. But when that comes on Lawrenceville, we get to go outside 3 times a day. So we have the morning rec, 2 o'clock rec, and the night rec. So usually a lot of people go out to night rec because they be feeling good after 7 o'clock. The sun will go down. Everybody be out there with the la-la chilling. So So dudes would be outside. You can go out there and you can stay out there, and then they'll do a gate break and you can dip back. So I was out there for a minute. I really went out there to take care of something, to holler at somebody, holler at my homeboy. I forgot what it was. I didn't go get no la-la or nothing like that. I just went to go holler at him about something. I can't remember. But after I did that, I was already telling my man, like, yo, he was saying the same thing too. Like, yo, I'm going to catch gate break. Because he was in 30 and I'm in 40. So I was like, yo, I'm going back on gate break too, man. You know what I mean? So when they called gate break, I shoot back. As they was about to close the gate, I look. I seen my roommate about to catch the gate. He went, I'm about to go back too. So we all coming back. We walking down the boulevard. Get to our door. The lady let us back in. As soon as the lady let us back in, my instinct just told me to look up, because as soon as you come through the door, it's a pair of stairs over here and a pair of stairs over here. The stairs over here is where me and bro live at, my roommate. Over here, upstairs is where the dude Chuck lives at. You know what I mean? So if you look straight up, you can see their door, because it's the handicap. Like I told you, the handicaps is on the four corners. It's 2 up top, 2 at the bottom. So as soon as I come look, I seen cut was on blast, y'all. So boom. And that cut up, man. But you know, they probably in there making a meal. You know what I mean? They probably in there trying to get that cookbook together, man. Ain't no telling, man. Ain't no telling what they doing, but that cut was on. That cut was up. I promise you, that cut was all the way up. I ain't paying no mind getting to say. I said, yo, he got the cut up in the joint room. And like, man, dude, crazy. He was like, I ain't messing with him no more like that. On no eating tip, on no working out tip. He was like, cause he used to be spotting me sometime when I used to be doing my pull-ups. He was like, nah, he ain't. He was like, Chuck can't. Chuck can't. I was like, nah, bro. He was like, nah. He was like, nah, no, sir. Chuck can't do that. I was like, yeah, that's so crazy. So he like, man, wow. So he get his shower stuff. So I just come back out, because I ain't work out. So I just come back out in the pod and I just sit at the table. I forgot what he was looking at. It's like 7 o'clock, 7:15, something like that. But they watching something. I want to say it's Jeopardy or something. I forgot what they were watching. You know what I mean? I'm sitting on the table chilling. I looked up. I just seen goddamn Chuck come down the steps. He had his towel over his shoulder. He got his soap dish in his hand with the rag, and he got his flip-flops on. He came down the steps perfectly, y'all. Like, you know how hard it is? Do y'all know how hard it is to skip steps coming down the staircase? Now, going up is easy. Coming down, you got to be a stairsmith, damn near, to complete that mission. I promise you, towel game, soap dish game, that man came out stuff like that. I was like, before I know it, he was on the ground, y'all. So, boom. He see me right there at the table. He ain't even look my way. He shot straight to the shower right there. I'm like, that junk crazy, man. I looked up, seen his son going to the shower on the top tier. I'm like, man, I get up, go right in the cell. I'm like, man, I'm chilling. I went to the cell, start looking at TV. I'm just in the joint, man. Next thing you know, knock at the door. Yo! Hey, where you at? My old homeboy, hey, man, why dudes in 40 bill? He was like, yo, why dudes from the town in 30 bill say, Chuck down here, shake, rattling, and rolling. So he be in the cell a lot. My other homeboy from North, quiet dude, don't be making no noise. He don't be around joking like us. And I ain't even fill him in about everything was going on, because I didn't really feel like explaining this maniac activity. He was like, why they saying Chuck got a boy in the cell? That dude he got in the cell. He said, that dude he got in the cell gay? I was like, bro, where you been at the last couple days, bro? He was like, he look like a dude. I'm like, bro, because he is a dude. What, you think you in another prison? I said, he is a man, Buddha. I said, man, look, man. I said, but the dude, a boy, though, I said, he let dude come in his cell, so I guess that's how he like to rock. He was like, nah, Chuck don't move like that. I'm like, yeah, bro, he do, bro. He do, bro. Unfortunately, I think that's what he doing. He ain't admitted yet, but that's what he doing. He was like, man, I'm ready to holler at him about it, man. Because, you know, that's like fam. You know, he grew up over here, like my peoples know his peoples and my mama. And he was just explaining kind of like how they family, like how Chuck was, you know, Chuck older than him. But still, though, like, he like, man, they basically like family. So I'm like, yo, bro, nah, don't say nothing to him. He was like, nah. That's like, fam, I'm going to tell my people's always ask me what Chuck doing in here. So what I supposed to tell him now? I said, bro, you might want to tell him the truth. And I ain't want to say that. You like, damn, but Weezy, look, you say you joking, but like, still though, Weezy, man, like, what you want me to do? Like, I got to say something to him. I'm like, all right, man. He was like, where you at? I was like, he in the shower right by your cell. He was like, what? So he went back, stood by the cell. The whole time my homeboy was just standing by the cell like this. He was looking mad. He was like, and I'm like, I'm saying, like, bro, you can't be mad about another man's decision. Like, dudes be getting mad at other people's decision in prison all day long. Like, you can't let it, like, get you angry like that, because it's something that they made up in their mind that they're doing. How can you stop them from doing that, man? You know what I mean? So he waited for bro to come out the shower. So he started talking to him. Word, when he come out the shower, you see Chuck got his towel over his joint. Chuck standing there still kind of wet, pause. He like, Chuck is listening to him. He like, then I hear my homeboy like, hey, where's that? I'm like, hey, Weezy. He like, hey, where's that? I'm like, what? What's up, bro? He like, Man, come here right quick, bro. I'm like, yo, hold on. He's like, no, we're gonna take 2 seconds. I'm like, I get close, Chuck looking at me. Like, what's up? He like, hey, look, tell him, man, they ain't right in the Zach having a boy in the cell with him, man. I'm like, man, look, man, I let niggas make their own decisions, bro. I ain't got nothing to do with what Chuck do. Chuck was like, exactly. That's just like what you gotta do. Let me make my own decisions. I ain't in there doing nothing. His face looked so stupid when he said that. He was like, I ain't in there doing nothing. He just ain't had no cell to go to. He ain't had no cell to go to, man. Calm down, man. Calm down, man. Young boy was standing there like, you know what I mean? Like, that was like the end of the conversation. Chuck went up the steps. He gave him the Denzel going up the steps, y'all. He like, went up the steps on him, y'all. So, boom. Chuck wasn't trying to answer a whole lot of questions about him shake, rattling, and rolling. But the young boy wanted answers, man. So I knew the young boy was feeling some type of way about it. I ain't even gonna lie. Chuck do that. We probably got like an hour before Rec come back and they lock down again. We gonna come back out again after that for one more Rec in the pod. So he get his stuff from out the shower. By the time he come back out the shower, the boys coming out the shower. So they get themselves together in the cell together, which is nuts again. This is another maniac situation. The boy come out. He ain't really even talking to nobody like that. He come out. He was like, he walked over to the microwave. It was like 3 dudes in my pod from Richmond standing over there. They ain't go outside. They standing there heating up their bowl pieces. He walked over there. He was like, somebody got nuts after y'all on the microwave? Dudes was like, nah, you got it. He was like, all right, I'm about to go get my stuff now. My word, he went up the steps, got his stuff. He come back down. He sit at the table. He start prepping his food. Like they making the food. He making his food, getting his stuff right. I hear Chuck come to the door. He's like, hey, bro. Hey, bro, here. Y'all might think I'm joking. This on everything, man. This man had 2 summer sausages, man. I told y'all where he sleep at. On the pod. Upstairs in the top corner on the right side. The microwave is down the steps, a little bit ahead, a little bit. Man, this man Chuck came to the little island part of the trash can. He was like, hey, bro. Hey, bro. Bro was like, yeah. He was like, hey, a catch. Here go the sausages. He was like, phew. Bro was like, phew. He caught that sausage like a champion. Pause. He was like, the second one come. He was like, here, one more. Here. He was like, phew. He threw that jump. Bro was like, phew. I was like, man, you fake ass Randy Moss. So boom. Pause, man. That man caught 2 sausages. 2 summer sausages, man. Like he was a wide receiver on a football team. It was crazy. I'm like, everybody looking like, man, this man got hands. This man threw that sausage far. Like, y'all think I'm joking, man. Bro catch the sausages. He get down there and start cutting it up. He making his food. Chuck come down the steps. He come pull up over there with us. He like, yeah, look, y'all trying to act like y'all too good to eat. He was like, watch this joint he about to make. I said, what he about to make? He said, he about to make some enchiladas. I said, some enchiladas? He was like, yeah, he about to make some enchiladas. Yeah, with the taco wraps. Watch how this joint look. I bet you gonna want some. I'm like, nah, bro, I don't. Nah, he was like, see, you better stop discriminating, Weezy. I'm like, man, nah, bro. Listen, bro. I said, for the record, bro, I don't care what you're doing. Just for the record. It's your life. You know what I mean? He was like, man, go ahead. His face gave, he was like, man, go ahead with that, Weezy, man. I said, bro, it's your life, bro. You know what I mean? Like, I just wanted to tell you that, like, between us type shit. You know what I mean? He was like, man, go ahead, Weezy, man. I'm like, man, all right, so they made their food. They locked down. It was lockdown time, but we coming back out for one more lockdown. So we locked down. We in the cell chilling. You know what I mean? We just in that joint. Everybody chilling. Like around this time, it's probably like after 9 or something like that. If I can remember this last lockdown, then we come back out again from like 10 to 11 or something like that. But this like the last lockdown, but I forgot what I was watching. Like I was watching something that came on TV and I'm looking at it and I'm chilling. And I'm just in the cell chilling and now you hear something go, so we like, my son was like, you hear that? My son was already at the sink. He was like, you hear that? They ain't even count yet. He was like, you hear that? I'm like, yeah, bro, that's John. He was like, he went to the door. He started looking. He was like, you hear that John go, he was like, man, that joke coming from upstairs somewhere, bro. Then you just start seeing people come to the door. I look. You seeing people come to the door. I'm like, what's going on? That joke crazy here. Bottom tier, stand by for count. Bottom tier, stand for count. Bottom tier, stand for count. They come through. They count. So they come by the bottom. So they go upstairs. When they go upstairs, they walk by. I'm like, yo, it couldn't have been up there. I was like, cause, you know what I mean? Something they walk right past up there. He's like, it might be up top of us then. He's like, man, that's all crazy. Somebody fighting. Somebody definitely fighting. So they counted. Soon as count was clear, they popped us out for the last wreck. Boom, 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 boom. All the doors pop, we come out. My word, soon we step out. Man, the boy came down the steps like this. He was like, he got down the steps. He was like, he just started walking out around the party. He was like, I'm like, everybody looking like. Then you see the dudes that sleep next to Chuck on this side and that side. They all come out like, they all like kind of like looking. I'm like, I was about to go up the steps. I was like, oh no, I can't do it. I look, I see the boy. He come around from the lap. He looking up like everybody in the cell. He like, he keep doing his laps. I'm like, my homeboy like, the dude, the young boy, he come out. He see it. He like, man, that was Chuck. I was like, man, I don't know, man. He was like, young boy went up the steps. He went to Chuck's cell. That's my word. He in Chuck's cell. I'm like, yo, that's so crazy, bro. I'm like, man, my cell like, that junk crazy. I know Chuck ain't fight that boy, man. He was like, man, my celly was like, man, he probably wanted him out. He probably wanted him out the cell, Weezy. I'm like, man, I don't know, bro. I was like, man, that junk crazy. I said, the boy don't look like nothing wrong with the boy. He was like, I know, man, the boy face look regular. I'm like, man, this junk crazy, man. I was like, man, this junk crazy, man. I was like, I ain't going up there though, bro. You see everybody up there. Everybody talking to him and everybody. I still ain't see Chuck yet. My word, I still ain't see Chuck. Next thing you know, Chuck finally emerged. Chuck got his scully on. I look, Chuck's scully like this. He come out with his scully like this. He come down the steps. He had his ice joint. He had his bag where he can get some ice out the chip bag. And he had his cup to get some ice. He come down the steps like this. He was like, I'm looking at him like, he walked to the ice joint. He like, young boy seen him. Young boy pull up on him and say, hey, Chuck, you all right, man? He was like, man, when he looked up, I was like, damn!
Get your money, don't care who judge. Stay out the way, surround yourself with nothing but love. Stay out the way if you a gangster, killer or thug. Stay out the way, put your faith in the man above. Stay out the way, chill with your family, siblings and blood. Stay out the way, kick it with your girl, forget hit in the club. Stay out the way, mind on your money, ain't no switching it up. Stay out the way, stand out the way, what you thought that it was. Stay out the way, if you stuck down on your luck, not feeling righteous. Did a petty crime, just looking for some excitement. Now your name on affidavits and court indictments. Get paid for a lot, but your freedom is priceless. You did the crime, you do the time, don't let it surprise you. Real stories from the heart just to open your eyes.